I believe my drive to succeed was created through watching my mother's sheer determination to never give up and always get up and try again.
Sean. I also grew up in a blue-collar family with two hard-working parents, Kip and Kathy, along with my brother Kelly and sister Shannon in Phoenix, Arizona. I had a small extended family, limited to a few cousins, one aunt, and two uncles. My strongest family bonding memories are with my grandparents. My grandmothers, Lois and Editha, along with my grandfather, Russell, were hugely influential in my upbringing and helped create what would become my determination to build special things. Both my mother and father demonstrated the importance of a strong work ethic when I was growing up. I think I only saw them take 4 or 5 sick days, this is probably an exaggeration, but it's how I remember them, over my entire childhood. They worked hard every day and provided for us children the best they could. We still struggled financially during my childhood, especially when my father left his job and went back to college to get his degree. I admire the courage it must have taken for my parents to tackle a challenge like that in the late 1970s and early 1980s. I always had a feeling of missing out on things as a child, whether it was the vacations my friends were going on, the clothes we couldn't afford, or the coolest new stereo to play our cassette tapes on. However, as I look back, we were always fed, clothed, and had a solid roof over our heads, along with parents who cared enough to push their children forward. I got my work ethic from my parents, but I most certainly take after my grandfather in the way I approach business. I was around 10 years old when he started teaching me about being an entrepreneur, talking about the printing business he had owned and operated back in Illinois. He had very fond memories of that time and always made running a business sound like an exciting adventure. These simple conversations as a child would inspire me to become an entrepreneur myself and eventually go into business with my wife. We would create one of the most successful businesses in our industry and hopefully inspire other entrepreneurs to do the same. When we went into business together, it wasn't really a conscious, strategic decision. At the time, it was simply a natural progression to our relationship. In the first few years, we fumbled through working together as best we knew how, often exploding into huge, unnecessary fights that could have easily been avoided had we been willing to understand each other's perspectives. To be completely honest, nearly all the early challenges and pain points were self-inflicted due to poor communication and lacking a basic understanding of what our roles should be in the operations of the company. Both of us were stubborn and young and thought we knew what was best in nearly any situation, and did not understand the importance of acknowledging our weaknesses and holding ourselves accountable for our mistakes. It was unfathomable for us to admit when we were wrong and change direction or give in to each other's wishes. That felt like defeat rather than compromise and willingness to change based on better information or experience. These were lessons we had to learn the hard way. Although we faced many such lessons in the early years of running our company together, we overcame each of our challenges because we never gave up and were always willing to work harder. Albeit at times, we were simply working harder and not smarter, as we would learn later on. What to expect in this book. We wrote this book for entrepreneurs who need a little advice and encouragement, and who need to see that others have gone through and overcome similar challenges of building their businesses and brands. So many business books focus on huge corporations and deal with concepts that sometimes do not translate well into small business practices without a ton of stripping down. You don't have time to take apart Amazon's business practices or marketing strategies